I can still remember today when they told me. It just didn't seem real. You know, you never really think at first that you're going to get cancer or that's going to be the way that things are going to go down. You never expect to hear that from your doctor and, you know, just keep saying, I'm sorry, you know, and you don't really want to believe it, and it doesn't really set in until after you leave and after you go see, you know, your first visit in oncology, and you really start hearing all your options about chemotherapy and all sorts of medicines like that, and that's when it really starts to, you know, set in and really hit you hard.
Jesse had a tough time when he first came here. He was reluctant to get treatment. In fact, I think his disease had grown for a bit prior to him actually seeking some care. He did not enjoy being a patient, as most patients don't. He did not enjoy all the aspects that go along with being diagnosed. Hated CAT scans, definitely hated needles. If you're listening, Jesse, we know how much you hate needles. And so he came here, and I decided that we would treat him the way he needed to be treated. So we addressed his illness directly the way that he needed us to. We took into account his feelings, his wishes, and we personalized his care. And we're successful in treating him.
I am personally not a fan of needles at all. Even the slightest finger prick really isn't cool with me. So at first I really didn't want to go through anything because I do know it's a series of IVs, it's a series of tests, and you know, I was pretty dead set that I wasn't going to do it for a while. They seemed pretty serious and it was too far along, and you know, every day I would just think, why try if it's already past the point possibly, you know? Is it worth fighting if it may not even have a positive result, you know?
You know, I think Jesse's a great example of what cancer patients go through. They are initially scared. They're frightened, they're unsure, they don't know what the next door, you know, what's behind that next door. And for Jesse, that was a bit paralyzing in the beginning. But he was able to muster the courage and muster the strength to overcome that. And he did it little by little. Instead of approaching it as one large problem, I think he approached it as several small problems, several little hurdles to jump over. And as he jumped over each hurdle, he got closer and closer to the finish line until he actually crossed the finish line. And I think, you know, he'll tell you how much easier it got as each treatment went by. That first treatment is always the hardest. It's always the most difficult one to get through. But in Jesse's case, he was successful. He showed up right on schedule. We stayed right on schedule, and his treatment was successful. And glad to say, and I'm sure he's glad to tell you, that he's in remission right now today.